It can't be true, right? Our whole engine could have fallen apart. Yes guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're continuing with our Ferrari 360 Spider. It's up high in the air, safely set up, because of course we don't want to damage it. The Ferrari 360 gets its name from the 3.6-liter V8 engine inside with no less than 400 horsepower. It goes from 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds. Ours doesn't do that at all. And in this episode, we're going to dive further into the Ferrari to see where it might come from. And I'm also really curious if we can get this beast running in the short term. And before I lowered the car, I decided to take off the timing cover that's on the underside of the car. It's a kind of inspection hatch, and what really struck me was the condition of the timing belt, and as you can see, they haven't been replaced for quite a long time. We'll lower the car, remove the seats, work on the interior, and take out the panels again. Let's go. The seats have been removed. Unfortunately, no expensive jewelry, Rolex, Breitlings, or anything like that was found under the seat. You never know, right? With Ferrari drivers, I've already found a lot of junk, so I'm going to vacuum it out. I'll leave the factory tape for now. Let's go. That's a very different look. Just stand there a moment. Oh, I do see a pretty recent serpentine belt going to the alternator, little air conditioner. But to really see and assess our timing belt, these need to come off. And that one? Personally, I would have installed it the other way around, so you can just read what brand it is. The paint type belt doesn't look too bad, but there is a bit of rust paint on it. This one, on the other hand, is fine. In my opinion, now comes the moment of truth to look at our belts. What? Wow, it looks intense seeing it this way. The war, Calvluer's training, how we'll make it or not. I know there will be people with stories and knowledge who will say, that's not how it's supposed to be, but believe me, that's how it is, okay? We actually see a lot of markings of places that indicated how the timing should be set during the editing of the distribution. I think it's going to help us later on to determine if it's on time. Is it nice? I'm going to set the timing according to how their notations or markings are, and then we'll see if we notice anything unusual. I hope so, because then we've already found a problem, so we're going to set the timing now, and I'm with you on that. We dug a bit deeper into the matter. We think we've managed to set the timing correctly. But what really stands out to us is this. Look at this. How loose our timing belt is. This one too. Look at this. It's not normal. It can't be good. Just how lucky we've been. Certain things turned out well for us too. What you see are bolts in that gear. You can see them. They're not in the right place at all, so you can actually see that it's misaligned. It looks like it was originally on the right and now has moved toward the center. It seems like we'd all rather just spend time here with our problem, but this just isn't under any tension at all. Guys, this can't be real, right? And this one too. Look, my timing belts are just here. This is just... How much play is this? Oh, 3 centimeters. Yes, guys, it's a new day here. I'm super excited that we can now make a lot more content for you. The recovery process should also go faster. Because of course we don't just have one moment a week, but several moments a week that we can film for you. We've already spent the whole morning figuring out how to get the engine timed correctly. It's quite a complicated process. Of course, we removed the spark plug from cylinder 1, inserted a screwdriver to determine the top dead center. And we also removed the inspection covers from the camshafts at the rear of the engine to check if the markings line up. This way we can see if the engine timing is correct, so we have everything set to the right timing. Now here, according to the markings, as you can see, yellow, 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 yellow. The manufacturer says it's timed correctly since the yellow markings are original, but the markings don't align. Our top dead center for cylinder 1 isn't set right. And the markings on the back of the service hatch section also don't match. Maybe our misfire is coming from this? Let us know in the comments. One thing I do know for sure is that we're just going to order a new timing set, put in new tensioners, and that we might have to assemble everything using our own markings, because where does it go wrong? I also grabbed the manuals for a moment to check. Or maybe the timing set was replaced in the past and it was actually replaced in 2006. At an odometer reading of 36,000 kilometers, a major maintenance service was performed, including the timing set. And after that, I found a new invoice, which was actually a quote from 2008. So 2 years later, exactly 2 years later, and then the Ferrari had 5,500 kilometers on it. And it says, advice, timing set due for replacement next year, which means the timing set should be replaced every 3 years and the tensioners every 5 years. I'll take you to the computer. We have everything ready, and I think we're going to place a nice order. I hope the prices aren't like those of a Lamborghini, but I think it will be okay. I'll put you guys here for a moment, and we'll take you along in the process. Let's go. As you can see, we're shopping on a website called Scuderia Car Parts. This isn't a collaboration, but it's a really cool website to get your Ferrari parts from. They have a lot of things in stock, and the prices are very favorable, so take advantage of that. And all the parts are numbered, as you can see, and they have exploded views, so you can also see how all the parts fit together. We think it's a super easy website, and that's why we place our orders here. Yes, guys. If I'm correct, I now have my complete order list ready that we will need to restore the Ferrari to its full glory. Yes, the timing belt really needs to be replaced. We still need to double check if we're missing any gaskets, because we're also going to completely remove our intake, replace all the gaskets, so of course we'll order those as well. We need to really think if we're missing anything, because we're about to place an expensive order, so let's just get everything at once. Yes, we've double checked everything, so we're going to order a complete timing belt kit, with tensioners. Yes, also the belt for the water pump and alternator. Thanks. Yes, the water pump isn't in stock here, so we'll order it elsewhere. Ours still looks decent, but we'll replace it anyway. It's not too hard to reach. So the water pump is driven by a separate belt, not by the timing belt. So that's super nice. That one can be replaced really easily. Besides that, we're also going to replace all the gaskets on the intake. So we have a total shopping cart, including import, value-added tax insurance, and shipping. That brings us to 1,902 euros. I think that's a really good price, because we're used to agricultural prices, and those are not prices like this. Those are much higher prices. So I'm going to place these orders. We have everything in stock. We specifically looked for that, so that's super nice. Let us know in the comments if you think it's completely up to date. And once we have this and have started it, I'm curious if we can get all the moisture out of the oil, because it's possible our cylinder head gasket is still broken. But I need to drive it properly first, so we get it on time and then we can make a better diagnosis. So stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. This little beast will go faster than you expect. I'll mention it in every video. A new project is coming and I'm excited to create more content for you. Subscribe if you haven't already, give a thumbs up, that's appreciated, and let me know in the comments what you think it is. I'll see you next time in a new episode. Ciao.